I have been at UVM and raising my teenager, getting him through his last couple of years of high school.
But I've seen him on Facebook. It looks successful so far.
He's doing all right. Yeah, I'm very proud of him. He's doing all right.
All right. Dennis DePaul has been Dennis is not just somebody who's volunteered at camp. He was president of the board of directors for a number of years. He has managed to get, now this guy has an extended family of no fewer than 347,000 first and second cousins living in the Champlain Valley. There are a few of us. All of whom are now volunteers at Camp TaKumTa. It's the craziest thing. And your heart has always been in the right place when it comes to camp.
My heart are with the kids all the time, John. It's all about the kids. Has always been about the kids for me.
So it's good to see you back in here again. Tell us a little bit about some of your favorite moments at Camp TaKumTa.
Oh, gosh, with 20 years under my belt working at camp and volunteering at camp, there are so many different memories that kind of mush together year after year after year. I think I just shared a story recently about a young woman by the name of Janina that came to camp. Mm-hmm. This is when we were at Holy Cross.
I remember Janina. Yeah.
Yeah, just a few years ago at Holy Cross. And she was in a wheelchair and she wasn't able to...
You had black hair. I had hair. I remember those days. It was
Yes. I remember that too. My waistline was a little smaller.
Yeah.
Okay. Good thing we're on radio, John.
Right.
But she came to camp and she was in a wheelchair and was really unable to move that much. But we at camp, we do what we can to get them involved and to make it a place where they can come out of illness into fun and joy. And that's what we work really hard to do. So I was program director at the time and I was building all the programs. So this was the first year we brought hot air balloons to camp. Ken's hot air balloon. Remember Ken?
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. We brought Ken's to camp. And he said, "Where do you want me to blow up the balloon?" I said, "Right outside of Janina's cabin," because she didn't want to come out. So we blew it. We got the balloon going up, 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 and I can see her she had red hair. Remember her red hair?
Yep.
She's peeking up out of the window, and believe it or not, we got her out of her cabin, wheeled her over, we lifted her out of her wheelchair and put her into the basket, and up she went. And I think all 150 of us with the kids were screaming and cheering because Janina was up in this balloon. And so I'm a big softie. I have tears rolling down my face. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I hear everyone start screaming.
Right.
And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened?
Right.
And I look up, and for the first time that summer, Gina was standing. She had stood up and was standing and looking over the basket. And there was Janina waving to everybody.
Like a princess.
Yeah. This is the magic of camp. It takes the illness, it sets it aside, and you watch this beautiful light come out of these children that just sends them soaring into playful joy. And that's what keeps me coming back to camp, is watching that happen. And I love being a part of making that happen with these children.
I'm glad you're here this morning because we have a hole.
Yeah.
With the loss of Rob Schuler.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know he was a guy that you could lean on when you were program director and camp director.
Oh my gosh, the creative ideas that came out of that man. It was hard to keep up with, but it was absolutely wonderful at the same time.
For folks who don't know, Rob was a real light at camp, and he had been coming for 20 years or so. He was the judge. He was a cabin counselor for the boys.
My shirt I'm wearing today was from Robbie Schuler.
Right.
And Rafi, yeah.
And Robbie, he passed away just before Thanksgiving. And it was one of these deals where we got an email saying he was sick on Wednesday and he was gone on Saturday. And, it's
surreal, moment. Honestly. It's shocking to the system. When I stopped being camp director, I felt very good that it went to Rob to kind of take those reins. And I was a cabin counselor. We swapped roles. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So he was the oldest boys, and I was camp director, and then we swapped. And I was oldest boys, and he was camp director. And it was pure joy watching him in that role and watching him interact with the children in that leadership place. He just beamed with the same joy that the children have. And I will always remember Rob that way. And I'll do my best to continue to share his legacy and his love with the children forever, because that man had so much love to give, and I will continue that practice.